Hi, welcome back to Latravia's Kitchen. Today we are making chicken and broccoli casserole. So let's get into the ingredients. We have 2 chicken breasts. If you want more meat than that, you can go up to 4. We're going to be filling a 9 by 13 inch casserole dish. So if you want a little more meat than that, you can go up to 4, but I'm using 2 chicken breasts. We're gonna have a half a cup of that Kraft mayo. You can use whatever mayo you like. I just happen to like Kraft mayo. We're using chicken broth, and we're gonna use enough of this to cover our chicken breast. In order to cook our chicken breast, we're going to be boiling it for about 40-45 minutes. We need a tablespoon of lemon juice. We're gonna cook 2 cups of rice. I use that Uncle Ben's, or now it's Ben's Original rice. A 10-ounce can of cream of chicken. I got the can with the herbs in it. So we're gonna use a 10-ounce can of this. 1 cup of sour cream. Again, if you watch my spinach dip video, then you know that you can use regular sour cream, or you can use the less fat sour cream, whichever one you prefer. We're gonna have some mild cheddar cheese. This is an 8-ounce pack. We need about 10 ounces, so we have a little bit left in this container that we're gonna also use today. We got some butter. We're using the butter while we boil our rice, as well as for our topping, which is going to be Ritz crackers. So I bought this kind, the fresh stacks, because they're actually like little small sacks. That way I'm not letting anything go bad or stale or anything. So I'm getting out what I need. And they come in like little smaller ones instead of the big tall ones. And for some seasonings, we have kosher salt and that ground pepper that we're gonna crack in here ourselves. Also, because this is chicken and broccoli casserole, we are going to be using broccoli. I'm not using a fresh floret head of broccoli though. I'm going to be using some frozen broccoli. Since this right here takes about 40 minutes to cook, I'm letting my broccoli stay in the freezer until it's time for me to go ahead and cook that. So let's get started. So the first thing we're gonna do is we already preheated our oven to 350 degrees. Next, what we're gonna do is get our chicken ready to boil. So we have this pot right here on the stove. I've already washed my chicken and cut the fat off that I don't want. I'm gonna lay that chicken down in there. I know the CDC at one point said, don't wash your chicken. I was raised this way. I'm gonna wash my chicken, then I'm also cut that fat off and make sure I don't have anything left that I don't want. And what we're boiling our chicken in is that chicken broth. So I bought Swanson. You can go get the organic. Also, if you're trying to be even more healthy, they do have bone broth that's chicken flavored. So bone broth is supposed to have all these health benefits. It's gonna cost a little bit more than this, but it's up to you to use what you desire. So we're gonna pour enough chicken broth in here so that we can cover our chicken, because we really want enough in here that the chicken's covered. It's gonna get all that flavor in there, and it's gonna come to a nice boil. Remember, we're doing this for 40 minutes, so you wanna make sure we leave a good amount in here. I'm just gonna go ahead and use the whole container. Poured it all in, and now we're gonna turn our heat up to high to try to get it to start boiling. So as you can see, the chicken is covered in the chicken broth. So we're gonna let this start boiling. You don't need to add any salt at this point. Chicken broth naturally does have salt in it. Chicken broth, beef broth, all of those. So you don't need to add any salt at this point to your chicken. So we're just gonna let it boil and we'll come back and check on it in about 40 minutes. So to cook our rice, we're gonna go by the instructions on the packet. As you can see right here, it has it in a nice little table at the bottom if you do buy this Ben's original rice. We want 2 cooked cups of rice, right? So we want 2 cooked cups of rice. That means according to our package, we need a half a cup of uncooked rice and about 1 1/3 cups of water. I've already placed the rice and the water in here, and now we're gonna start trying to get this to a boil. We're gonna bring this up to high. And what we're gonna do, I like to season my rice. So we're gonna add some butter in here, probably about 2 or 3 tablespoons. Okay, so we got 2 tablespoons in here. And we want to season this rice, right? So we're going to add some salt and pepper, and we're going to let it come to a boil and then cook for the recommended time of the package. Normally that's about 20 minutes. So when it comes to that boil, you turn the heat down a little bit and you let it simmer the rest of that time. Don't go opening and peeking into your pot to check on your rice or trying to stir it around. Rice is fine. Just once you get it to that point, let it do its thing. Go ahead and get this pepper going in our rice. And we're gonna add a little salt. Not a lot, just a little bit. We'll say maybe about a teaspoon of each. And right now, because it's not at that point where it's cooking, we're gonna go ahead and stir this up a little bit. And if you never made rice before, you're probably gonna be looking in this pot like this looks like a hot mess. Trust me, it's going to work out fine. Just follow the instructions on the packet, add your little butter, your salt and pepper, and remember not to take so many peeks at it once it gets to that point where we're trying to let it simmer. So as you can see, our rice is starting to boil. Remember I said earlier, it's probably gonna look a hot mess to you if you never made rice before. That's okay. It's going to come together soon. So it's starting to boil. We're getting it to that boiling point. And what we're going to do right now is one last stir. You see we got our 2 tablespoons of butter in here. We got our salt and pepper floating around in there. And once we get this to a boil, we'll then turn the heat from medium high to about like somewhere over in here, medium to medium low. That way it can simmer. And we're gonna make sure we use our lid to cover it because we want all that steam to be in there cooking that rice. So as you see, the boiling stage is happening. So now we're gonna turn our heat down to about like somewhere in here so that the rice can simmer. You see that right there, that eye for the front? And we're gonna add our lid. And we'll check back on the rice in about 20 minutes. So our rice has about 15 minutes left and our chicken has about 26 minutes left. So while this is going, remember I said I like to try to make things a little bit easier on myself as well as for cleanup, time, just things like that. So we're using some bird's eye steamed fresh broccoli, the florets that we can put in the microwave. So I have 2 of these packets because, you know, I'm only doing 2 chicken breasts, right? These are gonna get shredded later, but we're gonna start our broccoli up and do it according to your wattage for your microwave for the time that they have in the little table here below, if you are choosing to go this route. If you're not choosing to go this route, then go and buy you 1 big head of broccoli and cut off the florets for it. And then once you get your water coming to a boil, cook it for about 2 to 3 minutes. You want it cooked and kind of nice and a little crisp, and you know the green is there because you're also going to be putting your casserole in the oven for about 40 minutes later on down the line. So I'm going to go this route and cook this bag in the microwave for 5 minutes. I'm cooking both. So I'm going to go ahead and get to this cooking the broccoli in the microwave, and then I'll check back in with you guys as soon as the chicken and the rice are done. So our rice is ready, as you can see. It's nice and cooked. So we're gonna turn this stove eye off and set it to the back until we need to assemble. Chicken's still cooking, has about 8 minutes. We can take a peek at that. You see it's nice and boiling and it's getting there. So I'll check back with you guys in about 8 minutes. The total 40 minutes for boiling this chicken in the chicken broth is complete. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this chicken out of here. And stick it in a bowl. As you can see, boiling the chicken kind of shrunk it down a little bit. So that's why I was saying you can do 4 chicken breasts if you would like. I'm only needing 2. So we're gonna turn this heat off. And what we wanna do is stick this in the fridge. So we're gonna wanna cool this down a little bit. And once we cool it down a little bit, then we'll shred it and start making that shredded chicken mixture that's gonna be the layer above our rice and broccoli. So while we're waiting on our chicken to cool in the fridge, we're gonna get ready and do our other 2 layers. So we got our 9 by 13 inch pan casserole dish right here. And what we're gonna do is we're going to coat the bottom with some Pam cooking spray. So go ahead and spray all that down there. Okay, so it's nice and coated. And we're gonna get that rice that we cooked. And we are going to layer the bottom. So go ahead and spread your rice out. Go ahead and spread it out as much as you can. If this isn't enough rice for you, you can make double. So instead of doing enough rice for 2 cups, you can do enough rice for about 4 cooked cups. So what we're gonna do is just spread this on out. We wanna coat the bottom. Do like a nice even layer. As even as we can get it here. So we got this nice even layer of rice at the bottom here. And we want every little bit that we can get. So we're gonna go try ahead and knock this out right here. So that's what we can get off the stove. And now it's time to go ahead and get our broccoli and make a layer for that. So it has a little area right here where you can tear. Just go ahead and tear that open. And we don't want the extra liquid that's in there. So we're going to try to go ahead and take a fork and get out our broccoli florets. We want a nice little layer, right? So it's chicken and broccoli casserole. We kind of want chicken, broccoli in each and every bite. So that's why I went ahead and did the two bags here. Apparently it's cut the grass day in my neighborhood if you're hearing the lawnmowers in the background. I thought I had picked a window, but it's okay. So we're gonna go ahead and get this layered out right here. We're almost out of the broccoli for this bag. So we're gonna move on to the next bag here. That's the last little bit. This is the last little bit of floret right here, in here. So I'm gonna set this off to the side and move on to the next bag. So we got all the broccoli florets out, and there's a nice layer on top of the rice. And now what we're going to do is we're going to get our chicken out of the fridge. And we're going to shred that chicken, right? Now you can do where you have your chicken in there overnight, most of the day, whatever you want to do to get it to your level of cool. But what I'm going to do is, this is a little bit cool. It's cool, I can touch it, right? I'm going to get another fork and I'm going to shred my chicken that way. So you just take it and basically just pull it apart, right? You're going to get nice little shreds like you see like this. Shredded chicken, you know, that's another thing you can do. You can boil you some chicken up, depending on how you want to boil it, in more chicken broth to get more extra flavor, water, add some salt. That's up to you. And possibly even do like a shredded barbecue chicken sandwich. Yeah. You want to see that? Drop a comment below. Let me know if you want to see how to make a shredded barbecue chicken sandwich. I've done it before, but make sure you get them buns nice and toasted. Whew, I'm getting off topic. Let's get back to this. So we're gonna keep shredding this chicken here. I hope everyone's having a great day so far. I know I am. Things are starting to smell really good here in this kitchen, and I cannot wait till it's all assembled so that I can eat it. And if you're wondering, you can't remember everything I said at the beginning of the video for the ingredients and how much time, don't worry, it'll all be in the description box below. So now we got all the chicken shredded. As you can see right here, we got a bunch of shredded chicken. And what we're gonna do is start making our mixture. So what we need is about half a cup of mayo. I'm gonna do like 2 of those big tablespoons there for that mayo. We're done with our forks here. So we're gonna pull these out. Then we also need our sour cream, right? So again, remember, like I said earlier, if you want to use your sour cream that's light, that's right, that's fine, go right ahead. If you want to use the full-blown sour cream, it's more flavor that way, so feel free. We need about a cup of sour cream. We need about a tablespoon of the lemon juice. I'll say that's about a tablespoon. And we need that 10-ounce can. This is about 10.5 ounce. So at least 10 ounces of the cream of chicken by Campbell. So we're going ahead and dump all this in here. So we got our cream of chicken in there. I'm gonna set this over to the side here. And you see all three are in here. The mayo, the cream of chicken, and the sour cream. And our lemon juice is in there, the tablespoon. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna add about 1 to 2 teaspoons of pepper. If you remember, I like my food flavorful, which is also why we put that chicken in chicken broth to add more flavor. We're gonna also add some kosher salt. We'll say about 1 teaspoon, 2 teaspoons, whichever one you prefer. And now we're gonna mix it. Make sure you get all this mixed together well and cover up all those shredded chicken pieces. Yeah, I get some of that cream mixture is gonna be on the sides of the bowl, so just go ahead and scrape it down. And get all this mixed together really well. And now we're gonna take some of that cheese. I'm using mild cheddar, like I said earlier, but you can use cheddar, sharp cheddar, whichever your palate desires. So right now, we're gonna take about the rest of this pack and dump it in here. I'll say that was about 2 ounces right there. And we're gonna mix this in, see where that leaves us. I'll say try to do about a cup. We're using about 2.5 cups. So let's try to use about a cup in this mixture. So that means we're gonna go ahead and open this packet up. Pour this in. We'll say that's about our cup right there. Go ahead and stir this up, stir it in. Get it all nice and mixed. So as you can see right here, here is our mixture. We got the cheese all in there, the chicken is all nice and shredded. We got our salt, our pepper, our sour cream, our mayo, our cream of chicken. So now we're gonna go ahead and do this top layer. Just go ahead and drop this down in here. We wanna make sure we cover all of this up, you know. This is our top layer. So we're making sure that we got every last little bit here. And it is all covered. Every little inch is covered on top for that last final layer. So we got that off. And now we're gonna set this off to the side, and we are going to cover this with that mild cheddar cheese that we have, right? So for this cheese, I want the entire top of this casserole covered. As you remember from previous videos, I like cheese, so let's get this all covered. This is why you need 10.5 ounces, because we're covering the top of this right here, right? So we just use about 2-3 ounces in our mixture, our chicken mixture, right? And the rest of it goes on the top of the casserole for that next to final layer. So if you see you have some big chunks here and there in a little area, just go ahead and try to pick them up and make them a little bit finer. Go ahead and get every little area that you can, because we want some cheese in about each bite, and we're gonna shake that on out. We got that covered. We're gonna set this off to the side. And next, what we are going to do, while we break up our Ritz crackers, we're going to melt some butter. We got about 6 tablespoons of butter in here. And I'm gonna start melting it at 30 seconds. And take out these Ritz crackers right here. If you don't want the Ritz cracker topping, you can go ahead and stick this into the oven for about 40 minutes at 350 degrees Fahrenheit. I want that Ritz cracker topping. So as you can see, it's very nice little stacks. So I use these fresh stacks because I don't want to waste anything. Our butter's done, so we'll check on that. But I use these fresh stacks because I don't really want to waste anything. I don't want things to not be fresh later. So we're gonna take this, and if I can get this off my hand there we go. So we're gonna crumple up these crackers right here on top, right? If you're trying to, like I said in previous videos, trying to make something with your family, you want your kids to be involved, this will be a perfect step for the kids here, because they can crush things and not get in trouble for doing so. They're actually helping you out. So keep that in mind if you decide to make this and you're thinking, this might be perfect for the kids to help me out with. Yes, this is a perfect little step for the kids to do. show them what to do, and trust me, they will have at it. Just make sure you do the pouring of the butter part. I'm gonna keep our kiddos as safe as possible. So now we got all of that crumbled over here, and now we're gonna get our butter. So we're just gonna go and take this butter right here and just go right over this, just back and forth. Try to cover as many of these crackers as we can here. So get all up in here. We're gonna pour all our butter down in here. Remember, we melted about 6 tablespoons, right? So we've covered it, and now it's time for us to put this casserole in the oven for about 40 minutes. So our 40 minutes has passed, so it's time to get our casserole out of the oven. And guys, look at this. We got a nice crunchy top coating with that Ritz crackers that we use. You can see the rice, that cheese mixture, the shredded chicken going down the sides with the broccoli there. It smells wonderful. So like I said earlier, all of the ingredients and the directions will be in the description box below. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. If you try this recipe out, let me know how you like it. Share everything with your friends and family as well. Have a great day, y'all. Bye.